Oh.
Hey,
it's near mint condition. No, it's not. It's fine.
it's on my StreamYard account, so like it just has it up on the thing automatically since I do host the lives on Nearman every once in a while, and I just like
I love it.
forget to change it. So I will change it to this. It's way cuter.
Oh, it's lovely.
Is that distracting or is it cute?
I think it's cute. You know, you and I we feel the same about the backgrounds.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
sometimes it's way too busy and it's
Lord
unnecessary.
knows.
Yeah.
And then when they put the little like thing at the bottom that scrolls, I'm like,
I see that too much at work. I don't need crawls around here. We're good.
welcome to Fangirls Assemble. I know we didn't start this the way we would normally, but sometimes, you know, that's life. So
Yeah. And you know, it's fine because Lionheart's here.
yeah.
What's up, Lionheart? Jesse's
Did you
here.
say what? Always here with the like.
Yeah.
thumbs
Yeah.
up. And we got
We
Ellie
like
and
it.
Steven already like talking. Steven's got some Arby's.
We love Ellie and Steven.
Yeah, it's great. And Chris Brogan, what's up?
Hey.
So, Spooktober is continuing.
Mm-hmm.
We have one more episode after this. I think we did have to move things around.
Yeah.
So we do have another episode coming up on Friday, in which we will finish. So it kind of just got delayed a little bit, but we are talking about Black Magick by Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott, and Ice Cream Man by W. Maxwell Prince, Martine Morazzo, and Chris O'Halloran.
I like how you said that.
I don't know how to say it. And these are books that you can get, I presume, on InStockTrades.com, as long as they're not out of print or out of stock or anything. So
That's right. And I was just looking up the in-stock trades list for Tuesday because we have a pick of the month coming up. It's been a bit because I'll tell you guys what, every time I pick a pick of the month now, every time we do this, they go out of stock real fast and they're gone and we can't pick it. So it's been a time. I'm trying to look up what it was called exactly. Here we go. So this one's for the brown coats. We thought we would do a Fangirls deal for the brown coats. It's Firefly Unification War, the deluxe edition. I should have grabbed my first Firefly, but the boom ones they're putting out are really nice. They're chonky. They're everything we want in a nice deluxe edition. So that'll be an extra percentage off because of us. Hopefully it'll be on the front page immediately. There's a lot of stuff going down Tuesday. You guys know there's tons of omnis coming out again. So who knows what's going to happen, but that should be there from us. And you can get up to 50% off on all your books there. Free shipping of $50 in the United States. And we have to do it. Have to do it.
Have to. Except for not me right now. I'm just going to the library for a bit.
Understandable. I was just there. Yeah, it's so much nicer than, not having money.
Right.
Yeah, it's real good.
Hayden, I'm not somewhere different. We've been playing Gloomhaven, which is a huge living board game that just like continues. You have a map, you have different scenarios, and it's almost like playing a video game, so like hours and hours and hours to play through. And it's awesome. So that's what we've been doing all weekends.
It's fun.
I just finished in time for the show. So yes, library for the win.
It's the best.
So God, my brain is like dead. It's been the time. Which one do we want to jump into first, Black Magick or Ice Cream Man?
Let's just go with Black Magick.
Can we talk about
how
beautiful this book is?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the deal. So anyone who hasn't read it somehow by now, it's 2 trades or a nice deluxe hardcover. There's one of those out. You're gonna get to the end, kind of like Lady Killer, kinda, and be like, "What's happening? Where's the rest?" And this is my reread. I actually read Black Magick early in the year, so I wanted to read it again. And I love how they did. Just cut off what I just said. I love the color work, right? Because it's all like black and white and grays until there's like magic involved, and then it's in color.
Yeah, which I
loved that.
I mean, I need to find a good picture of her because
or her with like the lighter.
Oh gosh,
was a really cool thing. But yeah, you're gonna. I forgot to look it up. Anybody in the chat? Like, are they gonna go back to this? Do we know?
Every time
I'm
I hear about it, I
upset.
think that they're going to. So I don't know. But like, that's beautiful.
It's
The shading,
crazy
everything.
good. Yeah, I loved
Nicola
it.
Scott. Oh my gosh, her art's just amazing. The shading's amazing. I love this, and I feel like I don't know how this is in a TV show. I know we say that about a lot of books.
It's the truth, though. This would be so good.
Oh, it translates so well.
Because you got the procedural element, right?
Yeah.
So our main character, she's a witch, but she's also a detective. So you get to see both aspects of her life, which is really cool. A great dynamic. It reminded me a lot of, her character reminded me a lot of Jessica Jones from the show.
Yeah. Elliot, does that help the echo? I didn't want my clicks to be loud or the pages to be loud with the microphone.
Which, speaking of, I just looked it up. So Eric was asking if the hardcover is still in print. Yes, it's actually on in-stock trades right now. So are the 2 trades if you'd rather go that route. All very cheap.
Jessica says that they started working back on it back in the summer.
Good. So you're telling me the pandemic's delaying it too. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. I'm glad though, because you get to the end of this and it is a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah. Well,
Big
it's just such a small taste.
Yeah.
Because they take some time to really develop what's happening. They don't rush into it, which I appreciate. And reading this felt like watching a TV show for me for a lot of reasons. One, it just is paced that way. It has a familiar format, and the art as well is very realistic and beautiful. But it reminds me of any sort of like supernatural procedural drama I've ever watched. And I love it. I love that kind of stuff. Like, I just watched Evil on Netflix. It feels like this. Things like Charmed, which is like more Monster of the Week deal, feels like this. So, like supernatural-ish. Like, I really like this. I guess people that are at home who haven't read it, it centers around this woman, Rowan Black. And she is a cop, but she's also a witch. So, like, from a coven from a long line of witches, powerful witches. And she chooses to kind of have both hand in hand, right? And we get such a tiny taste of this story of hers because we meet her like another woman in the coven that she's raised with. And we kind of pick up bits and pieces. We know she's from a powerful witch line. We also know that she doesn't use her magic to like the full potential that she could. And we don't really dig into that except for maybe she's worried about something happening to her like it happened to family members of hers. We don't really know. Because even though these 2 trades are jam-packed, it's just the smallest taste. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they really breeze by the issues. Yeah. Which apparently, thanks Chris, issue 15 came out this week. 16 is next week. Okay, great. Perfect.
That's great.
Good to know.
Yeah, because I'm in love with this. I need to know more. Because we know that there's another powerful magic where there's like demons that are in play. And we know there's witch hunters, while we're also dealing with like regular real life stuff because she is a cop. She is investigating cases. Sometimes these are tied into her magical background because things are kind of trying to mess with her. And we also have this weird aspect with her and her partner who they obviously dig each other and maybe slept together before. And he's got a pregnant lady wife. I don't know if it says wife or not.
Was that an implication of them sleeping together or like what she wishes would happen?
Well, see, I thought it was
that, but now I'm questioning everything.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was like what she wanted or if it was like stuff that happened in the past or something. I couldn't.
Yeah, because there was like a dream situation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was interesting, and it wasn't the typical like they're gonna get together. Like I never got that vibe really. It was just like they clearly were into each other, and there was like just another layer to it. Because I don't know. It wasn't very like there's something unique about it.
Yeah, and I appreciate it because it wasn't like it's very understated. You know it's there, and like the demon person knows it's there because they know your innermost desires, right? So they're gonna bring it up. But she's very like, yeah, duh, but I'm not gonna do anything about it. Like And at the same time, he thinks that she's like hooking up with her girl from
Her
the
best
coven.
friend. Yeah.
And she's like, nah, she's like my sister. We grew up together. I was like, yeah, sir, if I would know. Reading this book, I would know if there's something happening.
Could have contacted us. Okay.
We could tell you.
Oh, and I love, it's not a big spoiler, but I love, like, her cat that clearly, I mean, you find out he's her familiar, but, like, when he starts talking, it's the best. I'm like, yes. Oh, I want, like, a whole cat miniseries now. But instead, I'm glad they're finishing this one because actually I just want this to continue. I got to the end again and I was just like, no, there's no more for me to read right now.
No, and it's perfect for the season. Because reading this, I was like, oh, maybe I can go and watch Practical Magic again for the second time this month. Because I love witch storylines. And I like it when it's like this. It's older women that are already like, kind of rooted in what their magical like traditions are. You know, more traditional coven-ish stories, like OG Sabrina. It's. Other things. I really enjoyed it, and I think that this could go for a long time, which makes me worried because it was on hiatus. So I was like, oh no,
yeah.
I feel like this would go forever. But
this would be the perfect like Netflix show, though. I know we're gonna keep saying it, but like, I mean, just the character work was really great. Even the little we got so far,
like of course.
Look at her,
this like Joan Jett looking.
Yeah, right. As she was wearing,
like, and she's got like a beautiful friend and a hunky partner,
a bit of a mullet.
Some Canadian network is going to make this a TV show because this feels like a Canadian sci-fi show or sci-fi fantasy show.
I can see that.
Yeah, because they all do this kind of stuff, like Lost Girl.
Yeah,
have you watched Lost Girl?
I know of it. I have not watched it. I know
Lost Girl. That's like right up your alley.
I know. I need to. It's one of those. I'm like, I know I'll like this.
You'll watch the whole thing, for sure.
But yeah, I love the mysteries throughout it. You had, the cop mysteries, and then her personal life, witch mysteries like colliding the whole time. Where her partner ends up being like, "Hi, are you murdering people? Like, what's happening?" And that's sort of how.
Please.
Yeah, like I don't know. I loved it. I just loved it.
Yeah, she's like having to cover it, right? And be like, well, yeah, that guy, burned himself in front of me.
Yeah, he didn't like cast a spell or like I didn't do that.
No, it was just really weird. Yeah, I didn't get burned. He just was like, hey. It's like, no. Oh, that's really cool. Nicola modeled her aesthetic after her mom and mom's friends growing up, hair and all. Amazing.
Love that.
That's wonderful. Gosh, Nicola, I feel like her art's like my favorite type of art. I just want to see this art on everything. Every like female superhero ever, I just want her art on all of it.
It's really great.
And she's done some Wonder Woman, right? Nicola Scott has.
I don't know. Shouldn't you know, Wonder Maddie?
I should. I haven't read it all. I don't know.
You're like, I don't know.
Somebody will tell me. It's fine.
Jessica will let us know. She knows. She's got all the answers.
Yeah, she was posting for Wonder Woman Day. And she had like the poster behind her and the cup and the shirt. I was like, same. Can relate though. Yeah, Black Magic 10 out of 10 by Image. I should read it. It's really good.
Yeah. It's a great time.
I'll probably buy the deluxe eventually.
Yeah, I also don't have it and probably will have to do that sometime.
Yeah. And this whole like shag bang mullet hair deal, that's coming back in. That's all
Miley Cyrus right now. Miley Cyrus is rocking it.
Yeah, so you know what? Everyone dress up like Rowan Black for Halloween and no one's gonna know who you are. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, it's Joan Jett. Sure.
100%.
So we also read, did you read all of Ice Cream Man? I read
up to volume 5, which I think is the last one out.
Okay, so I only read 4 of them. That's what I got from the library.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so she did. That's what I thought that she did. With Rucka.
Nice.
The Rebirth one, right? That makes sense. Okay, it's back here now. I liked that bit. I just looked it up, and there's a black magic hardcover that looks like an old witchy spell book. That's cute.
Yeah, it's like black with that symbol on it.
That sounds
pretty
cute. So, I read 4 volumes of Ice Cream Man. So have you read this before, or did you read just for this?
I did a show with Jess where we talked about it. So,
Okay.
and that was like the show before last. So I've read it. I read it then.
Perfect. I like when it combines.
Yeah,
That's why I was like, when the older
I can't read everything.
was doing their Patreon pick, I was like, can you just put like American Vampire and Black Magic and Ice Cream Man in there, because I'm already reading
exactly
them.
what I did. Yep.
Can we just?
It's like, can we just maybe add Ice Cream Man, because I have to read it.
I'll talk about it anyways. And man, that was a quick read. Anyways, I, as per the usual, sat down at about 6 p.m. and read all of these.
Wonderful.
And had enough time to play around and
I don't know how you do it. I can't do it.
I don't know.
I cannot do it.
I had some coffee, so it helped. Yes, this is my first time reading Ice Cream Man. I'm curious to hear what Jess thought too. You have to tell me after we talk about it. But man, I don't even know how to describe this to people really, except for it's almost it. There is a overarching plot still, but it is minimum. It's more like it's more like there's 2 characters that kind of help anchor the story a little bit, because most of it feels like more like anthology. Like if you're watching The Twilight Zone, or I recently watched Monsterland on Hulu, and there's a few like regular people there that show up again, and it feels like that, where there's like every chapter, like issue, is a different creepy, weird story. And you see the Ice Cream Man, who shows up in various forms, and his brother, who is a cowboy guy.
It's as weird as it sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're aliens, I think.
I think so.
Maybe.
Or monsters. Or both.
Know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what they are. I don't understand. But yeah, it's so wild and weird and creepy, and the art's really creepy too. Like
the art goes super well with the storytelling, I feel like.
It feels very like, I can't see it, so I don't know if I'm showing anything creepy. It's very cartoonish. It feels like watching an Adult Swim cartoon. Just the way that the story,
I can see that, yeah,
and the breaks and the art style as well.
The bright colors too.
Yeah, it just reminds me of watching something really weird on Adult Swim at like 3 a.m. You can't sleep, you know,
like Uncle Grandpa or something.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
But I really dug it because it's just, there's not a constant theme, and it's, I guess we could touch on like, we talk about some of our favorite stories and picks from the books. If you have 1 or 2 or 3, want to jump on any of them?
Yeah. So I think you're saying it great, by the way, because Twilight Zone is where my head went, because it is very anthology, but sometimes you see the same people, and it's so bizarre and weird. As far as favorites, so I don't know what was in volume 5. I can't remember. So if I say one you don't recognize, let me know.
That's fine.
But I really liked the figure story. Was that an earlier volume? Where there was like in manuals, you see the figures of things.
You know,
you're like, I don't know.
Volume 5.
Could have been.
I don't remember.
It could have been. Okay, well that one was cool for anyone getting to volume 5.
Feel free to describe it or talk about it. That's fine. So.
Like in instructional manuals where you draw something and it's like a figure of something, and you're like, oh, this is the leg and this is the arm and whatever. So it starts out like that, and then it goes step 1, and then it describes like a scene, step 2, step 3, step 4, and the whole story is that. So it follows like this boy who puts a sheet over his head and he pretends to be a ghost. But then at the end, like, he ends up dying, and it's like got this great ending. So it was really cool. It was really well done. I'm trying to think back now.
I really like the one about the the ice cream man gives this man an ice cream, and he starts going for a walk. And
the Neapolitan one.
Yeah, the Neapolitan one.
That was one of my favorites too. Yeah.
If I can remember what volume it was in, I can bring it up for you. But basically, like each page, there's a top part, middle part, and a bottom part, like a Neapolitan. And the stories continue that way. So the top part is one possible timeline, basically. So each one is a different timeline. So in the top one, he runs into this woman. And so as you follow that one, you see him fall in love with her. They get married. They have a kid. The kid dies. Things eventually get bad because she's an alcoholic and dies. He's just really alone and bummed. And in the middle one was him finding this dog. And the bottom one was where all this really creepy, weird stuff happens to him.
With a lot of bugs.
At the beginning of this, when I see him being the girl, the dog, and then the bugs thing, I was like, okay, well, the dog thing's going to be a bummer. And it was the best one.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he was just happy with the dog. The end. That was the whole deal. That's it. And
that
the bottom
really
one
great.
Was really creepy, and there were bugs and lost some limbs and stuff. But I always love this. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I was laughing at that too.
That was great. And he ends up dying only spooked over. Yeah, but I really like stories like that where they show multiple pathways of just how, like the kind of like butterfly effect deal or whatever, where it's just like this one small decision you made or this one path you went to got you here. And here's what it would have been like otherwise. I eat stuff like that up, and I love the way it was presented. And another reason why comics are such a great medium, because you follow those concurrently, whereas you wouldn't be able to do that as much elsewhere, except for like that one scene in 500 Days of Summer, where they have the expectations and reality scene, which I thought was brilliant. But yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. The One-Hit Wonder guy, I thought was also really fun. The guy who had a one-hit wonder and he could never write another great song. So you just see him like at this coffee place, this diner, and there are these kids like, wait, is that him? And they're holding this record of like him when he was young who did, the song. And so he's just like sitting there drinking coffee and like, dealing with his life, and he's sad and he never could write another song. And then the ice cream man comes up and he's like, hey man. And it turns into like this weird, trippy kind of otherworldly thing where he does end up writing another song. And it was just kind of love. There's something weirdly lovely about it.
Yeah.
Even though it was still, because there's always a twist where it's like, oh no, everything's upsetting kind of. But
yeah, but it almost felt kind of Bill and Ted-esque because, and maybe I just think about that because I watched like the movie a couple months ago, the new one. Because he wakes up, he's like, wait, did I write the song that ends up saving the world? And the guy's like, what? But yeah, because he runs into, like, he's in space, and he runs into these, like, personifications of songs, which were really weird and hilarious. I was reading it, I kept thinking, this is like a Reed chapter. I feel like he would really take this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. He would love that.
I'll make him read that. Sure. Oh, man. I'm trying to think of what else I'd really enjoyed. I really liked there's one where the father is reading his daughter's diary. He's a single father. He has this daughter, and he's a part of the single father support group as well. So you see he's just really trying. And she has this journal where she writes about her day, and then she writes her like top 3 moods of the day, which honestly, it's a great way to journal probably, so you can go back and see how you're feeling. Everybody's got to check out your mental health. Probably should write it down. She didn't really do that because I'm pretty sure she wrote horny on one of them, but whatever. Turned on is what she wrote. And so he's reading this, and he's having normal father like concerns. And he's like, okay, when she starts hooking up with boys, what do I say? He talks to the group about it. He's like, I just don't know. Like, I want to make sure she's careful because it can really change a lot in your life. And he reads this thing about her. She's like, I did it with this guy. I'm going to get this guy next, and then this guy. I love this. And like top moods, turned on, something. He's like, oh God, no. Like what? If she is, because as if she was like checking off the mark. She's like, well, I'm young. Hit it up while I can. He's like, oh, my daughter. Like, what am I going to do? And then stuff happens. He goes back, reads the next diary entry. It's like, I love killing people. And I won't tell you how it ends, but I love that. And I could tell it's where it was going, but I still love that kind of stuff anyways. These like little short digestible things where something crazy happens, like a girl and her imaginary friend, which is her friend that died, or just like some guy in space with things happening. And sometimes you get those little clips of like the ice cream man and the cowboy, which sounds so silly talking about it. But I am interested in them because I don't understand.
Yeah, but it's also like, I will say, there's a lot that I really thought was very unique and really well done and fun. But I think it's also like any anthology, for me at least. There were some that I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fine. But it's enough that I still want to keep going. So I'm still going to keep getting these from like my library as well. That's where I got mine as they come out. Yeah. Because I want to know I want to know what's going on with the cowboy. I do.
I like the cowboy.
Yeah.
He's
a great character.
His dog.
Yes. And I'm upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think, if anyone here likes Junji Ito and you're looking for like a Western equivalent, I feel like Ice Cream Man's kind of it.
Yeah. There's nothing else that I could compare it to. And we haven't found a great comparison in Western.
No, not really.
That one's pretty good.
It's fun. Like it tends to be a little more grotesque, right, than Ito. I mean, grotesque, not really, but a different kind.
Right. Also, being in color does make it a little worse, right? Like, there's something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does. But it gave me that same Ito feeling where it's just fun and crazy, and you don't really know where it's going. And I love bite-sized stories like that. I think that's really fun to read right now. And it also makes it very rereadable. Yeah,
totally. And it makes it like quick, because you could just sit down every night and like read one issue and be fine, because you don't have to remember things from it the next night. Like, it is those great little, but we don't have a lot of like short story things in comics. There's not a ton of anthologies. There's some here and there, but like, this is an ongoing kind of anthology from the same creators, which is unique, right? We don't see that a lot.
Because usually I see that in like just a regular graphic novel form. Mm-hmm. And it's usually like a compilation of several different artists. Like, that's how I usually see anthologies and comic books. Did you happen to see Nicola Scott's variant cover for the Wonder Woman 84 Prelude comic? So amazing. No, I haven't. I'll have to check that out. I think I only just realized there was a Wonder Woman 84 Prelude comic like last week. But I'm behind on stuff, so and since I'm not buying things as they come out, I'll probably just read stuff on DC Universe as it comes available. And it's good to see you again, Kenneth.
Yeah.
Not feeling well, but feeling much better. I'm glad to hear it.
Glad you're better.
Love Black Magick. Only read the series digitally and loved it. Loved their run on Wonder Woman. Yeah. And Nicola Scott. Oh, so good. I like Ice Cream Man, but I'm still on the fence about buying the 5th trade. I got the first 4. What do you think, Kristan? Would you recommend? If you can remember what happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Did you see I think it was the 5th one with the children's classics?
No.
Where he was reading. Okay, so he sat down. Okay, he like bombarded this family. Kind of took over the wife. Like, she was walking around in an Ice Cream Man uniform, and you realize she was kind of possessed by him or something. Yeah. And it starts where he's like sitting in bed with his 2 children, which they're not his children, but you don't know that till spoiler. It's hard to talk about these without saying it all, right? But he pulls a children's book down, and it's supposed to be like The Giving Tree, but it's something horrific. And then the pages take over of him reading this, and they're so weird and creepy, but it's in the same art style, and it's kind of amazing to just see how well that was done. They did a Dr. Seuss one, and there were like other ones, and the dialogue was like perfect. And it's like you were just suddenly, again, the pages kind of went out, and it was like, oh, you're reading this children's book, like he's reading it to the kids. The kids also have the Ice Cream Man uniform on. There's something real creepy about that. And you realize later, they're kind of like, hey, wait, is he our dad? Like, I mean, there's like a whole moment. So if that interests you, I believe in the 5th volume, the cowboy, there's more of the cowboy and that whole overarching plot. So, I mean, you got the first 4, right? You know, if you have the Hoopla option, it is on Hoopla. You could try out the 5th, see if you want to pay for it, or go to your local library, tell them to get it for you. A lot of libraries are really receptive to that. Mine is. I was just like, hey, buy all this manga for me. And they're like, fine. And it's great. So then I have to buy it. So those are some options if you're not quite sure. But I think there is some unique elements to it. I personally do not think, if you haven't bought this stuff, to me, I'm just going to get it from my library. I don't think it's worth me having.
Yeah.
Personally.
Like, I really, really like it.
Yeah,
and
it was fun.
Should a deluxe edition come out, that's cool. Sure. Especially if it includes more author notes.
Well, and that could be really cool, because Jess and I kind of talked about that, where it could be, if it was a deluxe hardcover that was like Neapolitan or like had some crazy cover on it.
Oh, that'd be cool. Looks like an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, there could be a lot of cool things, you know, they do there, which could happen.
I got the 1st and 3rd trade from the library, but I'm on a waitlist for the 2nd. I like the idea of the anthology series. I'm a sucker for those DC holiday specials. I'm also. And I'll return it to the library tomorrow, Jessica, so you can check it out.
That's hilarious.
My bad.
You're like, sorry.
I'm just gonna assume if I'm on a waitlist for a comic that you checked it out. Because who else in town? Who are they?
Who are those?
Looking at the comic store I don't go to. But yeah, I love the DC holiday specials. I eat that shit up. Like, I love it. And I decorate the comic book room. I change out what comics are on display if they have a Christmas cover. So like the Red Sonja one goes up, the Green Arrow one, the DC holiday special. Fair. But yeah, I really liked it. And I agree. Like, for me, I don't think I would purchase the trades unless there's like some deal. But I do think I would be down for like a cool looking deluxe. What did Jess think? Do you like him?
Oh, he's in love with them. He bought them all. He's going to keep buying them. Yeah, he loves it. I think he loved it more than I did. I still thought it was really fun and enjoyable. There were some stories that I was kind of like, okay.
There's always going to be some stinkers.
Yeah, there's always
like the David S. Pumpkin bit on SNL.
Yeah.
You know, it can't all be winners. You got 99 floors. Speaking of which, it's October and I have not watched that yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
That's like my favorite.
Yeah, we got to do it. I like it too.
So I haven't been reading a lot else, but so Friday night, on a whim, we decided to listen to Power Rangers theme songs because we have a friend over, and Elliot was like, I can't remember which theme is better, Time Force or this other one. And so we watched all the openings, and then we found out about like an RPG game, which led us looking at the board game, which led us looking at the comic books, and now I'm kind of wanting to watch Power Rangers and read the books after all this of me saying, oh, I'm never gonna buy those Power Rangers deluxes. Again, I'm not going to be saving money, but I think
people say they're great.
I think I'm gonna read it.
Make your library get it for you.
I think I will.
You should.
Because I need to know. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this. But my friend told me a little bit like what the Power Rangers canon is like. That I was like, okay, yeah, I think I want to know. Oh no, I don't need to go down this road of the Power Rangers fandom because I can feel myself already hyper fixating on it, which means this is a long road. It's gonna be bad.
At least you have a lot of material out there, and people say it's great.
People say it's really good.
So you got that because you got so over here's Power Rangers, right? But then there's those Caitlin's Way fans that never got anything but the I'm just throwing out the most obscure show that I used to like. We talked about Caitlin's Way, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
We all know who that show was made for. Just like, oh gosh, As Told by Ginger.
Oh, yeah. Know? Yeah, along the same lines.
As Told by Ginger.
I'd read that. 100% read that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I would be like, this is relatable to me.
I need this content in my life.
Before I go back to Power Rangers. Oh damn! Now I want to read it. I just find the stories cool, most especially the first read. After that, it's less special. Sadly, libraries over here don't have English graphic novels. Oh, okay, gotcha.
I didn't even think about where you were. I'm sorry. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, if I didn't have like free access to it, I would buy them. That's what I mean. Like,
right. Yeah, that totally makes sense. And hey, you have the first 4, so at this point, I think you're invested.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Eric, since May has Wonder in her name and Wonder Woman has Wonder in it, what are your thoughts on Byrne's Wonder Woman? I got a deal on all 3 hardcovers. I haven't read any of John Byrne's Wonder Woman, even though I own it.
Such is the story of our life.
Yeah, I'm still catching up on the Wonder Woman backlog, basically. Because I still consider myself a recent comic book fan, even though it's been, 3 years?
Well, but still, you can't read decades and decades of books, in 3 years.
Well, I'm trying.
I know. Good for you.
Yeah, because Wonder Woman still is like that's my main squeeze, my main girl. Still catching up. Jessica said Marguerite Bennett wrote some of the Power Rangers. No shame. That movie from a few years ago deserves a sequel. It does. It was good. I was pleased, surprisingly. And we're big fans. So my husband has a Power Rangers costume in the closet. Read it and then watch the reboot movie, even though they whitewashed Read it. Yeah, that part sucked. For sure.
That's a bummer.
And, Alpha did not look as cool and didn't go, aye, which, what's the point? I finally got caught up on my current issue comics at DC Digital. First comics are really good, especially Superman Man of Tomorrow and Wonder Woman Agent of Peace. I need to check them out, especially since I'm not buying anything and DC Universe has been such a great deal. And I guess Marvel's trying to compete now because they have comics that come out within 3 months of release now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I may have to go back.
I'm going to hate it, but yeah.
I know. I'm going to be mad. That's why I have it. Just every time there's a deal, they're like, oh, it's like $6 a month. And I'm like, great, I'm mad about it.
We just going to gloss over the fact your husband has a Power Ranger suit? I guess. I'm a cosplayer. And so is my husband. Although most time it's me being like, "Hey, can you cosplay this with my group?"
Yeah,
yeah. So he has he's a big fan of the Blue Power Ranger, Billy, and so he's got the helmet and the suit. I got a Mark talks about it. I still buy Ginger off my Fangirls bingo card.
Oh wow, our bingo card would be a mess, but so easy. I mean, Spice Girls would be on there, right?
Of course.
100%. Drew B asking me about the Secret World of Alex Mack comic that I need to write. That's on there. Where are you, Drew? Other things.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's other things in there, right? Buffy, whatever, anything Buffy.
Oh, anything Buffy.
Yeah, of course. Matt, I've been meaning to ask you what you thought of Future State Wonder Woman. Love it. Chris, I don't know if you've looked at Future State at all, or know what it is, or heard about it.
Which one? Who does that one again?
So this is the new DC thing.
No. Okay, that's what it is. I was like, I'm confusing it with. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. It's gonna be 2 months long. And they're gonna pause the current timeline, and then just do stuff in the future. But they're giving us a bunch of diverse characters. That's fun. Yeah, there's a new Wonder Woman from South America. Looks really cool. We've got a new Flash. We got a whole bunch of stuff.
Do you like that they're pausing it and just building a future?
Yeah.
Is that just so they can do whatever they want? Really? I guess.
I have no idea. I just want something fresh and new because I just don't care.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
It just looks fun and different for a while. Plus, that new Wonder Woman looks really cool. Her outfit looks so cool, and she's got bangs. So nice. I was thinking, my friends look, it's me. It's me.
I did this.
I do have bangs. They're just hidden. But I was like, look.
That sounds fun.
So Maddie, did you load up on that game yesterday? Do you mean this one? I did. I unlocked a new character. I got very excited about it.
So I know you just finished playing it, and that's why it's out. But at the same time, do you have to just like let that chill until you play it again?
We do a lot because it's a lot of pieces.
Okay.
So we have made a decision to put this away and not open it again until we moved because it is a lot. But a friend was coming over. I'm like, well, let's just play it instead. It's fine. But we'll put it away after this. And I play it online too. But yeah, it's easier just to leave it out. We had to buy a specially made organizer for it.
What do you say?
What?
What? I heard some yelling in the background.
Why is it picking up that much?
I don't know. I'm like, what?
Elliot, what are you doing? No, I'm worried I don't know how they're watching me right now. Dog or cat cameo check.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Moose is stuck in your back, so that's my bad. I did not watch any of Terry Moore's live stream all weekend. I know he was giving stuff away, right?
Yeah, I caught like a few minutes, and then I was like, oh, this is just a giveaway. I'm not going to win. And I left. So I don't know if there was more to it than that, but
I've been too busy. I can make a lot of jokes about him dressing up as the gay one. You could. Elliot just likes soft boys. Billy was the softest one. Yeah. And, we can still like him now because Tommy became what he is now. And my closest comic convention is basically a Power Rangers convention.
Oh, yeah. That's so true.
So we were telling our friend that's visiting, I was like, this is so old hat. Seeing Power Rangers in person, like, you just see Bulk and Skull every year, and it's like, oh, hey, like, you're all just here all the time. All of them. Billy Cranston is dreamy. I stand for him hard. Is Future State like a tryout to see what works? I wonder if maybe it is. DC doesn't. I wonder if it's them dipping their toes into like a more diverse cast because they never did a full go like Marvel did.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people give Marvel a lot of heat for that. Whatever. And even when I talked about Future State, a lot of people were like, is this a forced diversity thing? And I was like, no, it's not a forced diversity thing because none of your characters are going anywhere. Nothing's changing people at home.
Yeah, that's what's making it easier on people, right? Like people, as in the people who would go crazy about that.
Yeah.
Is they can be like, no, this is in the future. Like your timeline's fine. It's over there. It's chilling.
I wonder if they are trying out, maybe they'll bring some of these characters back later because it would be a shame to meet these really cool characters and then have nothing.
Right.
It's also, I think it's a really good decision for them because if you look at like not the main continuity stuff, but Young Animal, I guess. So it's a fantasy like with Naomi or Far Sector. That stuff's doing so well.
Yeah, and I think the Black Label stuff too, which is its own kind of here's your own universe, like instead they're like, here's the future, so we can make our own crap over here.
I'm happy about it too. A lot of people that are writing on stuff and doing art for stuff is really good, and it's just nice to have a break.
Yeah,
from DC.
That's cool.
I think people need it right now. I think it's a good choice. So we'll see what happens with it. Some people think that they don't know. DC was going to do a 5G thing, and they're wondering if that's not going to happen anymore because, personnel changes, and that's what Future State is now. I have no idea.
Interesting.
I can't keep up with it all.
Also, trying to predict DC seems very hard.
Yeah, I can't keep up with that. I used to when I first got into this, and I was like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They don't care about continuity anyways or anybody I love, so who cares? So many Rangers, panels, people everywhere.
That's it. Yeah. That's the con.
I love that making comics more accurately reflect the real world at large is considered as forced diversity.
I know.
Bobby, you and us both. But
the fact that that's even a term just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't understand.
And like, as my other channels got more like subscribers and stuff, that comes up a lot, which is aggravating. Because I feel the same way about the Marvel stuff. Like your people, I know that at the time some of them were MIA, but those characters will never go anywhere. You're fine. And honestly, I'd be like, if you want to make one of those main characters, like if you want to have Batman be black or POC, like I'm cool with that. Now, some gators are like murder me in the streets, but I don't care.
It's true.
It's just nice to see a wider variety of people have their stories told, and
that reflect the world.
I can't wait for Far Sector to be collected so that you and I can read it and talk about it, because
I'd love to.
Oh, it's just amazing. It's so good, and there's just no excuse for it anymore. And like people are like, oh, that stuff doesn't sell well. You're wrong. Naomi sold incredibly. Far Sector is selling very well.
Now more than ever, too. Like, we're seeing the numbers in publishing. Like, these books are flying off the shelves, literally.
People want them because it is their lives and they want to see themselves. It matters. And, look at, movies and TV shows. Lovecraft Country killed. It was wonderful. Everyone was talking about Lovecraft Country. It's just fantastic. Like, more of that. Elliot. Not much buzz around Close Sector. You're right. That's a pun for people at home. This is what I live with. All the time.
Classic Elliot. So yeah, we read the books.
We did it.
We did it.
I've almost decided my picks for November. I need to message you so you can help me
decide.
Yeah.
We got to decide our schedule too. I know I wrote those down. Well, I'll type it up soon.
Yeah.
Do that. So then we know where else are.
As long as you don't change too much who the characters are, DC and Marvel included, what they look like, doesn't matter too much. Yeah. I agree.
Yep.
It makes for different stories. There are hundreds of thousands of stories already of your favorite heroes. It gets hard to come up with original stories. Exactly.
True that.
Exactly. Because, there's only so much, like, main character has to fight the same big bad again story I can deal with. And I want real human stories. Real, like, character development and growth and, like, dynamic storytelling. That's what I want. And that's what I get a lot of times in other publishers or in things like the Black Label or in the YA graphic novels. A lot of times, YA graphic novels give you way more time with the character in development than the main comics do.
Yeah, they're so great.
Which is a bummer.
A real bummer. I mean, I don't know why we can't just have like a main line of stories, and if you don't want to touch those, fine, and we'll just have all these side things, because like these characters are fictional. Like, I don't see the big deal.
Yeah, I want more stories like Supergirl being super. I'm still upset we don't have more of that.
Like just some off story. Like, here we're gonna like give you your stuff here and keep going with that story. That'd be great. Yeah, I want to see more.
Yeah. It looks like DC's been kind of doing that with some stuff, which is good, because I've said it before, you just need one really personal story for someone to get hooked to a character and want to read everything else.
Yeah.
Because that's what did it for me. Because had me relate to a character, I'll read everything for them. It only took one cute Roy Harper and Donna Troy moment. Took my whole life over. I feel the same way about minor characters and like The Outsiders by Winnick, like, or all the side characters of Marvel. Like, I love them. He's right. I have no chill. Peter Parker taking on Green Goblins was done a million times. Miles taking on a Goblin after he killed Peter gives more tension. Yes. Hey, that's killing it. Yeah, I love my Marvel and DC, but lately I'm always all about these awesome independent stories of weird characters. Yeah. Great.
Totally.
That's what I want. I can't unclick this.
It's like Black Hammer. They're doing it right.
Yeah. Oh gosh, Black Hammer's so good.
If we like feel the superhero, the classic superhero stuff, but we get all this time with the characters. There's all these side stories that are amazing. I mean, it's how you build a universe and you keep people around because I care about all of them and I want to know what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I just read Supergirl being super yesterday. I'm so ready for Tamaki to continue the story. Wouldn't it be great?
I wish that would happen.
Jessica, you know about Grace? I love Grace. Who has time for Jill and Grace Joy is in the world? That's a comic book character I want them to bring back. I mean, she's in Black Lightning right now, but she's not on Amazon, so. But yeah, she's in the comic books and she's dating Black Lightning's daughter. How cool is that?
Coolest.
She's an Amazon. She didn't dress the same way, though. So cool. Well, that's all I've been up to lately.
We did it. We did it again. Yeah.
Have you been watching Haunting of Bly Manor? Have I messaged you about that?
No, I want to, but I haven't. I haven't been watching anything. Yeah, I should.
There's a dynamic in there that you would like.
Okay. I'm in.
And plus, the guy who plays Ravi in iZombies in it, and he has a mustache. I don't know why that makes it better, but it does.
I'll check it out.
Good.
I do want to tell you that you should read this sometime.
Okay.
This could be at your library. But you know the Kent State incident in Ohio years ago? Yeah, this is what it's about. This is by Derf, who did the my friend Dahmer.
Okay.
Reed and I got like a signed and sketch copy. How cute is that?
Oh, that's awesome.
Very nice. But Jess and I talked about this in our last show. I made Jess read it. It's so good. It's so well done. It's nonfiction. He documents everything that happened, everything going on with the military at the time and Nixon and the protests. And it was just so well done. And I loved it. And I want more people to read it. So
I'll pick it up. I like that.
I feel like this is probably going to be a big like library book where you should probably be able to like pick this up there, you know. But it was great, and I think you'd enjoy it.
We'll check it out.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, I think we killed it.
We killed it. Tuesday, don't forget, we're going to have a Firefly Deluxe Edition Unification War for an extra percentage off. I don't remember how much, but something. Yeah. Because we give you extra percentages off stuff sometimes. And there's a lot of omnis coming out Tuesday on InStockTrades.com as well. So check that out. As I know everyone will, because they always do.
Yeah, and we'll be back on Friday. Time to be determined.
Check out the Twitter at FANGIRLZ Live.
Yeah, for the update.
We'll let you know. Yeah.
Where we talking about American Vampire. So stoked for that. I hope you all have a good night. Stay safe. And Lovecraft Countries is done, so you should go watch it. Why is my voice going away? Anyways, thank you all so much. We'll see you all soon.